If you've ever purchased any live plants from my website, jarahsgarden.com, this is a video guide or instructions on how to open your delivery or the box of plants and kind of what to do with the baby plants so they get off to a good start. Hi, my name is Jarah. I teach people how to garden, grow food, raise backyard chickens, and keep bees. I'm also a nursery in the state of Florida, and I sell both heirloom seeds and plants. The cultivars that I offer are either plants with a purpose, they're either edible, medicinal, or are good for wildlife, like host plants for butterflies. At the time of making this video, I only ship my live plants in United States Postal Service flat rate boxes, and that is to ensure the fastest delivery. The longer your plants are in transit, the higher the chance or risk of damage or them dying. By using flat rate boxes, I'm able to ship live plants very quickly from my location in Florida all the way to the other side of the country if I have to. I also only ship plant orders Monday through Wednesday or Thursday, depending on where you're located, and that is to prevent the boxes from sitting in the post office over the weekend or a holiday. Therefore, if you submit an order like on Thursday or Friday, depending on where you're located, if I can't guarantee it'll get to you before like the end of the weekend, then I hold on to it and ship it the following Monday morning. Also, I'm in Florida and we have hurricane season. So there are times where I cannot ship anything because the post office is closed. When you get your box, make sure that you place it with the top side up. For these smaller flat rate boxes, the bottom side will be the side with the actual printed label. So just set that down. I like to add extra tape here to make sure this doesn't open during transit. So just take some scissors and gently cut that tape open. Then you can pry the lip here that's sealed shut and gently open the box. At the time of this video, I really like to use paper as a packaging material to stabilize the plants, therefore they can't move or shift, so just gently lift up the top layer of paper. This is how the plants will come. Each plant by cultivar will be in its own baggie, and they're also wrapped with paper towels, and that's to conserve the moisture. This one is the Sweetie Pie Blackberry, and this one is Longevity Spinach. I'm just using these two as examples. I like to sell plants in small like plug sizes because it makes it easier and cheaper on the customer when it comes to shipping options. But don't be fooled, these are very well rooted plants. They will take off and grow quickly for you. These are ready to be planted. You can plant them directly into the ground if you wanted to. However, I personally have a tendency to forget about little new plants and stuff like that. So I recommend that you plant them in a pot. This is like a 6-inch pot, I believe, or a 1-gallon size pot, something like that, just so they can develop bigger root systems before you decide to plant them outside. That will greatly increase their chances of survival. I recommend that you use basic potting soil mix just to plant these in here if you decide to go this route. If you do decide to plant them directly outdoors, just make sure you check up on them on a daily basis, that they're getting enough water, that they're not getting, eaten up by pests or something. Once they're planted in a pot, you can put this in a gentle location. What I mean by that is a spot that gets maybe some bright morning sun but afternoon shade as a way to acclimate the plants to your environment before you just put it out there. It can undergo some shock if you do that. I have a screened patio, so I love to put new plants in there for a couple days before I transition them outside. Another great option is to plant things in solo cups because these are pretty big sizes as well. You'll know that your plant is ready to be transplanted outside when you look at the bottom and you can see roots coming out. Once I see that, I will gently lift the plant up and check its root system. As you can see, this is not fully rooted. It has started growing a lot of new roots, but I want to see those roots go all the way around this cup. So I'm going to leave this plant here for a little bit longer. But this would be ready to plant outside if I popped this outside and the whole root system was wrapped around nicely. That is the perfect time to transplant it out into your garden before it gets root bound. I encourage you to research the requirements for each plant that you decide to purchase. I do have a lot of information on my website in the actual listing for the plant regarding sun requirements and soil and stuff like that. And obviously, if you have any questions, you can email me, message me, whatever. Just let me know and I'll help you out. For example, this Sweetie Pie Blackberry needs full sun and it also needs a trellis to grow on because it is a vining plant. This Longevity Spinach, on the other hand, really does well in some part shade, especially if it's afternoon shade. I really love to plant this underneath my fruit trees because it kind of rambles low to the ground. It blocks off all the weeds from being able to grow through, plus it's something edible. If you purchase a rhizome from me like ginger or turmeric, it's almost the same deal. You can, directly plant that in your soil if it's warm enough for the correct time of year. But I do prefer if you plant it in a pot or even the solo cup until it grows a bigger root system, so that way its chances of survival are much better in your garden. This is an example of a ginger rhizome, and basically you would plant it right at surface level. These don't have to be planted very deeply, and I like to plant mine horizontal, like not like this, horizontally, so that the sprouts can go straight up. One thing about the tropical rhizomes like ginger and turmeric, stuff like that, they actually go dormant for the winter time. So depending on what time of year you purchase these, they might not sprout until next spring, and that's completely normal. So if it's kind of cold where you're at, just keep these nice and warm, you know, in its pot or whatever. Keep it indoors so it doesn't freeze, because that will kill the rhizome. I hope you found this guide helpful, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because I post lots of information about gardening. Thanks for watching, and happy gardening.